Ray Rosick is a team leader here at Cabot Guns at Penn United Technologies. And Ray, you were involved with this from the very beginning. At what point did you realize that you'd be in the middle of making a gun, a special gun here at Cabot Guns?
Well, we started with a focus group to see if it was conceivable to do it or not. And since I like to shoot and hunt and reload, I volunteered for that focus group. And as it got the green light for the project, I said, well, if you ever need anybody to head up the project, I certainly would like to volunteer. And I got it. So from that point on, I became fully involved with the guns here at Penn United.
So the 1911 was the gun selected. When you got the idea to go ahead, and you got the go-ahead from whoever upstairs said go ahead, what was your first step?
Well, the first step was we took the original drawings and we redimensioned all the drawings so that we could use our tolerances from the die industry into this gun.
That means very, very tight tolerances?
Correct, tight tolerances. Plus we put those tolerances on blueprints. So the blueprints now can go through the shop with the different parts that we make. So all the tolerances are automatically put onto the part.
When you first started this, there was nothing in this operation at Penn United to be able to punch out a gun, to make the parts necessary to make a gun. So you really were starting from scratch. How many different machines were involved?
You're correct there. We had numerous machines, but what we did was we didn't buy new machines just for the guns. We utilized what we had in the plant that we built our die components with, and we turned around and said, how can we build our guns on that machine? All right, so we did it kind of reverse. Rather than buy the machines for the gun, we actually took the guns to the machines, and we're using it that way.
Now, you started, I guess, with a block of steel or a block of some kind of metal. Can you run through the process?
Sure. This is the frame, which is the bottom part of the gun, and it starts with a large plate of steel, which is domestic sourced. When we started this project, the key ingredient was that everything had to be 100% American made, not just assembled, but made. So we had to source our steel domestically, and we get certifications that this steel is certified in the United States.
Was this steel produced specifically for this use?
No, it's actually used in the tool and die industry. It's used for large stamping dies. We did give specific grades of steel that we wanted for this, okay, for the frames. So what we do is take a frame like this and do all the machining, Larry, and turn it into a finished gun frame.
How many different steps does that take?
That would take probably about 25 to 30 different steps, okay? And we have about 30 hours in this part right here, just alone. And we do the same thing with our slide, which is the top part. We start with what we call billet steel, and we're one of the very, very few that use billet steel for the guns. Most of the guns that are made today are either cast or forged, but we wanted to go with solid steel. And once again, this is American made. And we take this billet steel and turn it into the slide.
How long does that take?
That would take, from start to finish, running through our shop, it'll take about 6 weeks. Now, realize we're not just working on guns here, we're working on other components as well. So one day, an individual might be working on a part for an automotive industry, defense, or even a nuclear power customer. And then the next day he's going to be working on our firearms. It's that simple.
But the conditions and the standards are all the same then?
They have to be the same. They have to be the same. These guns, we also wanted to make them interchangeable. Now, you could have an interchangeable gun with loose tolerances, and it would be guaranteed to fit together, but it wouldn't shoot as good. So what we did, we tightened up all the tolerances, so as they come off the machines, there's no hand fitting for an accurate gun. So we use the tolerances to our advantage.
So every part is truly interchangeable with any other gun?
Any of the guns we make.
Yes.
Any of the guns we make, yes, it is. There are exceptions. There are exceptions. We make a left-handed gun. It's not interchangeable with a right-handed. Some parts of it are.
Are there many other manufacturers that do left-handed guns?
To our knowledge, we're the only ones today that make a left-handed 1911.
Now, what's the difference between a left-handed and a right-handed gun?
Well, let me show you. Here we have a right-handed gun with, if you're a right-handed shooter, it would eject out the right side. So if it's in your right hand, the cartridges are flying off to your right shoulder. If you happen to be a left-handed shooter and you held a gun like this, the spent cartridges would possibly hit you in the shoulder or the head. Plus all the thumb controls are on the side for a right thumb. However, our left-handed has the ejection port on the other side, so if you hold it here, the spent casings go over your left shoulder. Now we've taken it one step further. We put rifling. Rifling is in the barrel and it twists the bullet, right? Okay. When you're shooting, you want the gun to torque or twist into your palm, not away from it. Because if it twists away from your palm, you're going to lose accuracy. Our right-handed guns actually have a barrel with a left-hand twist, so it drives it into your hand this way. Our left-handed gun, let me get this right, has a barrel with a right-handed twist, so it drives the gun into your hand this way.
Which is the stronger side of your hand because it's the palm holding the gun.
Correct.
Ray, how many people are involved in the actual manufacturing of this 1911 Cabot gun?
Over 75. There's over 75 people that will touch the parts of this gun before it gets in here and goes out the door.
Do you remember the first gun that you manufactured here?
Yes.
Do you remember what your feeling was when you saw the whole thing put together?
I was impressed. I was pleased. It's #1, by the way. And we put it together and we said, okay, we could do it. But from #1 to like number 100, we have made incremental improvements in it. And the guns we're making today are really nice.
Is every gun that you're making now similar to the previous gun since you got to that one stage?
Yes, they are all similar. We have changed our processes to improve the processes, but the gun, the product is still the same.
Ray, you're a man who's a craftsman, obviously. What have you learned in this whole process?
Well, when we started it, I knew there was a lot of good guns out on the market. Okay, there's a lot of people that make nice 1911 pistols. And I was kind of skeptical if we could reach that level. After we made a couple guns, took them to some shows, let people look at them, and I started comparing them to what was on the market. There was no doubt that we had something special. And when you have custom gun builders at shows come up and say, you guys are doing it right, I wish I could do that. A lot of compliments. That tells me that we're doing it right. And this is all unsolicited too. I don't go, asking for their input on it.
Ray, thanks very much. This is a fascinating process. Congratulations on the result.
Well, it was my pleasure talking with you, Larry. And once again, these are good guns. We like making them. They're made here in Pennsylvania. And a lot of people take pride in them.
Ray Rosick, he's here at Cabot Guns at Penn United Technologies in Cabot in southern Butler County. I'm Larry Berg. We'll see you next time on Faces and Places.